Okay, let's talk onboarding. So this video is a behind the scenes look inside the vault of Sprint Department, where we're essentially showing how we automate, optimize, or delete certain parts of the creative process that allow us just to focus on the work. So obviously we're a two-man agency. We don't need a whole amount of software. It's a high ticket thing. And max capacity we could probably do 15 to 20 a year. So it means that there's a certain amount of automation we can allow for that doesn't involve software. So today I'm going to take you through how we kind of reduced it to a one-click situation. So I've essentially built a little Cal button here, and this allows me to send this one email. I've pre-coded it in, used Claude to build this a while ago. But for instance, let me just take it through. So say we've got a client, bing bong. We always do sprints in 10 days. We click here. It's always going to start on a Monday, so let's just choose any day. As soon as I do that, it brings up the pre-situation. I can change it to Europe or US, so we usually mostly work with European clients, and therefore everything kicks off at 10 a.m. If we're working with the US, obviously we've got delays, so we do New York time, so we usually have meetings at 4 p.m. So then we have our meetings where essentially I talk about the 4 pillars. So we've tried a multitude of different meetings, and the best thing for a 10-day sprint, in our opinion, the way we work on our rails, is a day 1, day 5, day 6, and day 10 meeting. The first one being a workshop of 3 hours, and the other 3 being kind of creative check-ins, the end and the beginning of the weeks. It's just the best way to do it and allows for any changes. So I'll have already sent the pre-meetings ahead. We have an onboarding questionnaire that just, if you click that, it'll take it to a Notion file. They get their own personal Notion file. Give us a little pre-game. If they've got any immersion docs, that would be great. We have a deliverable sheet. Obviously, the process is kind of productized, so the deliverables don't change. Obviously, the creative changes, but those major pillars that make a brand identity that we believe are kind of crucial parts, those 8 to 9 chapters, you either have a new version or a push version, and they just feature on a Google Doc that we just code in. Very easy. And then welcome to Sprint Department, which is just a sort of onboarding for a deep dive if they want to read how we work, what they can expect, what we expect from them. We reiterate some of this in the onboarding side in Figma, which I've already done a video about. Essentially just everything that they can read should they need to. They can skim over it if they need to, but at least they've got it. And this will go in we just do everything in Figma, so all comments and design happen on top of the work. We don't do into Slack and stuff, because otherwise there's screenshots happening and it gets really messy. And then all business admin side happens in one thread with everyone CC'd in. So we just have those 2 things that are very simple, so it doesn't go awry and people are lost or anything like that. Project immersion, we have a little department resources, which is essentially the most help we can be as free consulting without us being in the room. Sometimes we onboard people a good 2 weeks before we start a project, so they can kind of look through. There's some YouTube videos and some questionnaires and stuff just to get the juices flowing. It's extra work for them, but if they are in a pickle or they're a bit stuck, it's high value. If it's not a priority, doesn't matter. They can completely ignore it. And then workflow, we just reiterate everything. So the interesting bit that is quite nice is where if I click one of these, I don't know if it will happen on my screen share, but this just pops up in my calendar and I can just hit enter. It's pre-coded in having, let's see what happens. Yes, great. So hopefully you can see this, probably not my face, but as you can see, bing bong comes up. It's already got the times in. We do a 2 hour, 1 hour and 10-minute notification. And then as I save it, the add Google Meet automatically adds. It's something in the presets that it doesn't load until you add it. And then the only admin is just to copy the guests out from the email chain that we preload, who's going to be in the meetings. So it's just a quick copy and paste into that. And then I do that for all 4 meetings, and then it's done. And that's it. That saved us a lot of time. The previous version of this was me writing it out, me going in, me changing this address, me checking that these were all correct and so on and so forth, that they changed, making sure all the links were right. And we just had to kind of think, how can we make this global? How can we make this as sort of operationalized as possible, but not clinical, and obviously allowing for us to change. So this is the best we've come up with so far. We don't need software. People can have onboarding software and so on and so forth. But as I said, we're a bespoke boutique agency where max from pure, if 10-day sprints, if we're doing 1 to 2 a month, the max we could ever work without burning ourselves out is probably 30 projects a year, 25, optimal probably 18 to 24. So there isn't really any need to completely and utterly optimize it, but a 1-click to 2-click thing can really help. So if that was a value for you, if you're building something similar to this, or if you're a client wondering how we do it, we spend our time thinking about every single part of the process and how we can kind of optimize that, iterate on that, or if not, delete it, so that we can focus on the creative. Because we do believe that If you just focus on the work, 10 days is a long time.